moving on with roll call.
All right, Ronald Knuff,
Present.
Kenneth Hall,
Present.
Bonnie Almond,
Here.
Trevor Stone,
Here.
Ronald Glassick,
Here.
Judith Haldeman,
Here.
Jason Donahue,
Present.
Julia Kutzler,
Here.
Mayor Tony Pristash,
Present.
and Mason Small.
Present.
Approve the minutes of the public workshop meeting held on January 2nd, 2025, and the regular public meeting held on January 16th. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Hall. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, who got it?
Second.
Mr. Knapp? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Hearing of persons present. If anyone would like to say something, step up to the microphone, state your name, and the reason why you're here.
Good evening, Barry France, Northampton Fire Department. Reason I'm here tonight is I have a letter here requesting to be put on the agenda for the next borough meeting on a request for the continuation of the summer cadet program. We're planning in the beginning planning stages of it, and I just want to get try to get the borough's approval again, which I don't think is going to be a problem, but officially I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of it. So I have a letter here. Judy, you got a letter?
Mr. Wesco or?
Oh,
Okay.
this one specifically.
Oh, this is for me.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Mr. France.
So just some quick updates with the planning part of it. We have some good news. We have a lot of sponsorship this time around. The word is getting out, not only to the borough residents and businesses. We are getting some good support from some of the, some organizers that, of other events that like the program. So this year it appears that at this point, there will be no charge to the residents of the borough. If we do not fill it up, we're gonna limit it to 25 cadets. If we don't fill it up, then we'll go to the outside of the borough. But that was some pretty good news that we got. So it's starting to fund itself, which is good. So,
Congrats.
thank you.
We're so happy that
Thank
you do this, Mr. France. Thank you. Anyone else?
Scott Edwards. So wanted to just come and visit today. I was one of the residents that came to the last borough meeting about the Tri-Borough Gun Club. Just wanted to follow up with the council, and I believe it was Mr. Glassick on the record. You asked Tri-Borough for maybe weekly or bi-weekly updates. So wanted just to get in front and see if there were any updates on the investigation of the bullets or any updates from Tri-Borough itself on whether there's any precautions or safety measures being taken.
Thank you.
Did you, Brian?
Yeah, so this week I received an update from Tri-Borough. They plan to do weekly updates, and that is something, I sent that all out to you this afternoon. That is something that I will continue to do as long as they keep getting to me. This period covered February 6th through February 16th. It provided how many people used the range, how many random range checks they had, and how many incidents they have. And they gave detail about security systems that they updated. I'm trying to just kind of give basic terms. But yeah, so they two QR codes were added to the range. One was added near the main gate. The other was added to the parking area. One camera was malfunctioning but was fixed on Saturday the 15th. 3 new cameras were purchased and are waiting delivery. Everything so far, they said, has been positive. And again, like I said that to all council people this afternoon. Good timing on your question. And yeah, if that's something that people would like updates for at meetings, I can surely keep doing this as they come. I will send them, like I said, to council every week. But I'm happy to share any reports, or if anyone else would like to do that as well, I'm happy to. That is something that we can keep informing about as time goes on.
And if I may, I have something to add. I did get an email from Tri-Borough as well, just today, right after yours,
Yes,
and I sent it
I-
out to all council. They are having a special meeting next Thursday, the 27th at 7 o'clock, and they are going to be speaking about the shooting range. So if you're everyone's welcome to attend, so if you were thinking about it, it'll be held right at Triborough on the first floor.
Yes, Thursday, February 27th at 7.
Yes.
I could speak for Triborough. I was there. I'm not a detective or a police officer, but I talked to Mr. Fritz. I think that's your neighbor.
Oh, yes.
I spoke with him, and he takes care of a lot of the memberships for the gun range. He is in full cooperation with Game Commission, Fish Commission, and the rules and regulations. He stated that he will be changes at the club upon entering the gun range. And like she also said, the meeting, anybody can come to the meeting and state their opinion. Thank you.
And our police department is still doing their part in this as far as the investigations and follow-through. So know that that's being handled also.
Again, Barry France, I'm also a resident of Jeffrey Lane. My backyard actually is to the rear or to the side of the gun range. And I hate to bring this up, but at about 5:30 this afternoon on the Hampton webpage, another person found a bullet on the roof. They did take a picture, they did notify the police, I believe. So it's still happening.
Well, you can call the Game Commission.
Yeah.
As a citizen, you may call the Game Commission.
Yep.
And report that also.
Again, I understand. I was the third house in that development back in 1999. We understood it was there. I was a member of that gun club. They were there before us, just like the railroad tracks and the pallet company. You get used to it. But I can, as they stated at the last meeting, some of the residents, they are doing rapid fire. And that, in my opinion, as a gun owner, as a hunter, that's not target practice. That's somebody just trying to blow off steam or waste their money on ammo, I don't know. For a ricochet to come that far from that gun club up into our development, I don't believe it was a ricochet. Again, it's probably somebody shooting up in the air. I can tell you that for the last 2 weeks, there's very limited shooting going on at that range. Very noticeable that you did not hear it at all. I heard one day this week because I work from home, and it was very limited. So I'm not sure what they're doing down there, but they obviously are reacting to our concerns, and I think that's all we're asking. I have grandkids that play in the yard, and there is a lot of kids in that development. And again, I know this was all talked about at the previous meeting. And again, the last thing we want to see is somebody get hurt. And again, I think we all in that development agree that they were there first. We just want to make sure that we can make our neighborhood safe. It's a great neighborhood. We have good people living in that, a variety of different ages. We all get along. And again, I want to retire there. I want to stay there the rest of my life. So, but again, I wanted to bring up today that somebody else did find another round on the roof. So,
What site was that, Barry? Did you say on the Northampton?
yeah, we have a webpage in our
Oh,
development.
in your development,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a group
neighbor
of
one-
the
the
neighbors.
neighborhood one, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, which is good, because we watch out for each other, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. Moving on to President's report. I had one thing, status of the ordinance on the overnight parking. Are we moving on with that ordinance? Borough parking?
Everyone was given a draft.
Okay, thank you. Was that what it was? Thank you. So we're still working on it, okay.
A draft, there's been some consultation and a draft has been prepared and circulated for comment.
Okay, very good, thank you. Mayor's report.
Thank you. This past Sunday, I had the honor to both attend and speak at an Eagle Scout award ceremony at St. Paul's UCC Church. It's not the first one I've been to there, or first Eagle Scout honor court that I've attended. Colton Paget was the honoree, became Eagle Scout. And as a former scout myself, I was so impressed by the support he had from his other fellow scouts and the leadership there. Colt needed 21 merit badges to become an Eagle Scout. He had 43. And a merit badge is not handed to you. There is a considerable amount of work and order that needs to be done to receive a merit badge. And when I looked at the other scouts who were there in the front row, I saw a lot of young faces, but a certain maturity in them because of their efforts, the leadership they had, and the dedication they had to being a Boy Scout. Scouting is a fantastic opportunity that we definitely need to support. It's also Girl Scout cookie time. Being a Thin Mint junkie trying to corner the market, it has not helped my carnivore diet in the least. But anyway, Girl Scout cookies are everywhere. If you don't like the cookies, leave the $5 donation for the troop. If you see Scouts doing a project, ask how you can support them. These are the future leaders we have, and they are learning well how to work together, how to build their own character and their maturity, and it's incumbent on us to keep supporting them. We always hear bad things about kids in these age groups, but I'll tell you what, these folks are shining stars in this town, and I'm very proud that they are here in Northampton, and I look forward to supporting them all the more, as I know you do too here. We've had many Scouts come in for their project, and it has been a benefit to the community, and I look forward to seeing more of them in here at this time. I know there's one more Eagle Scout coming up at St. Paul's again, so keep them coming. It's great for the community, it's great for the character of the people, and for those around them. So, thank you very much, that's all I have.
Thank you. Solicitor's report?
As I stated, I did hand out some drafts of some ordinances for comment. The one was with regard to overnight parking, and the other was with regard to ticketing of violations. So those two things are out there for your review and comment. End of report.
Well, thank you. Moving on to reports from committees, we'll start with Mr. Hall, Admin and Finance.
Thank you. There were 322 live streaming views of the January 16th council meeting. As of Friday, February 14th, we have received $3,000 and $703.50 in garbage payments. The River Central meeting, for the month of February was canceled. The borough will host March monthly meeting. It will be held at the fire station. And we are in receipt of the 2024 franchise fee for Astound RCN Telecom Services LLC in the amount of $103,259.09. End of report.
Well, thank you. Building, Land, and Recreation, Ms. Haldeman.
Thank you. Yesterday, Wednesday, February 19th, Borough Manager and Assistant Borough Manager attended the 2025 Livable Landscapes Virtual Grant Workshop. Any application for livable landscapes must be submitted by Friday, April 4th, 2025. March 3rd is the opening day for resident park permit reservations. Non-resident reservations do not open until April 1st. End of report.
Thank you. Code and Police, Mr. Stone.
Yes, thank you. We received the code income report for the month of January. To date, we have received a total of $19,465 in rental registration inspection fees, which is about a 43% compliance rate. Public Works has been hard at work with converting the former code enforcement office to the new detective's office. The new room should be completed in the next few weeks. We also received the Northampton Police Department report for the month of January. 579 dispatches, 131 incident reports filed, and 16 accident investigations completed. And a report.
Well, thank you, Mr. Stone. Fire and Health, Ms. Army.
Thank you. The fire department received a grant from the Office of the State Fire Commissioner in the amount of $13,955 to replace the aging fire hose. The Board of Health will meet on Tuesday, February 25th at 7 p.m. And the code rental report for January, we have 239 registered rental properties, and total known rental properties is 558. The compliance rate is 42.83%. End of report.
Thank you. Public Works and Sewer, Mr. Glassick.
Thank you. Due to the nationwide shortage, the Public Works is being extra careful with the usage of road salt, so therefore they have the anti-skid is being mixed with our road salt currently. On Tuesday, February 18th, all Public Works employees were given a new updated hard hat in order to meet the new safety standards. On Friday, February 14th, the Public Works Supervisor Rich Ackerman, Crew Chief Andrew Marzin, and Borough Manager Brian Welsko spoke with the Snyder Environment Services about the upcoming realigning project on Railroad and 16th Street. The project is tentatively scheduled for mid to late April 2025. End of report.
Thank you, Mr. Glassick. Unfinished business? There's none. Resolution 525.
A resolution of the Borough of Northampton, County of Northampton, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, approving and adopting the Northampton Borough Emergency Operations Plan.
I need a motion to approve the emergency operation plan. Motion to approve.
Make a motion.
To approve by Ms. Haldeman. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Donahue. Any questions?
No.
Oh, I thought it was Mr. Donahue. I'm sorry, I didn't look up. Mr. Canal? Questions?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Obviously, there's parts of it that aren't completely filled in. I'm assuming those are things that don't need to be filled in, or the
Yes.
county fills them in.
Yeah, there are, some of those are ones who, and I went over with fire chief and whatever, some of those are just county oriented, that's still through.
Okay. And I actually had a question, just in terms of, one of the things that caught my eye in terms of a disability was a notation of people who are deaf. Is there anything upgraded in that? And I might be opening a can of worms here, but in terms of like perhaps even an autistic population or anybody living in the borough that might need additional support when we would be, or the family would need that kind of additional support. Is that anything that's ever been discussed or brought?
That's a list, I believe, with EMS and stuff has it
EMS,
as well, or whatever, and it's some information that Hampton County has, and it's a constant, that it can constantly change.
Yes,
and
of
but
course.
still, but yeah,
So there's actually a place then where families could actually perhaps
if anybody knows, yeah, they
register
can
that they could reach out to, so they would be reaching out to EMS or to you. So
Yeah.
they could contact you to say if there's any kind of additional support that they might need. I think it's important that our community be aware of some of those types of needs that may come up during that type of difficult situation. Thank you. That was my only question.
Question.
Go ahead, please.
Will we get a full copy when the county fills this out? Will this be an updated version?
some of that's in there, yeah, I don't know if they'll fill that in, or if that's in their bank or whatever, but the borough, our information that I needed and had in there, but I'll look into that.
Is it only a yearly update, or is it for a couple years?
No, it's a couple years, I don't know the top of my head, but I'll get that answer for you as well. But you can update it when needed, or as if I had a bunch of changes, someone had needed to do it next year or whatever.
Okay.
There's a page in there where it say what day changes were made and it was signed by.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
There is a sheet that we all need to sign that is being passed around. Judy has signed it. I just prepared Stephanie. And then you'll see all elected officials sign in one of the elected official spot. Kenny is the only one that signs in a different spot because he is the emergency management coordinator. And his has a special spot, and mine does too. But everyone else, it's just sign wherever. You'll see the lines.
Consider approval of the updated Taser policy.
Police Chief Brian Kadingo is requesting that Borough Council review and approve an update to the Taser policy for the Northampton Police Department. This new policy updates the model number and nomenclature of the Taser that police officers carry. Everything else is the same.
Do you have a motion to update the Taser policy?
I make a motion to update the Taser policy.
Motion made by Ms. Allen, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Donahue. Any questions?
Yes. Are all of the officers currently qualified to handle it? Is everybody approved to?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider memorandum of understanding with Allen Township.
This Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, is to provide for the purchase by Allen Township from the Borough of Northampton additional allocated capacity expressed and sold in the form of equivalent dwelling units, or EDUs, in the amount of 100 EDUs.
Do I have a motion to approve the MOU?
Make a motion to move forward with the MOU.
Motion made by Mr. Glassick,
I'll second it.
by Mr. Stone. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Motion passed. Item number 4, consider request for handicap parking space.
This is the one agenda item that the resident that is making this request wanted to be here in person, but due to an illness is not able to make it this evening, so they have requested to table this for a future meeting.
Do I need a motion to table? Yes?
So moved
I
for-
make do I have a motion to table item number 4 on the agenda, handicap parking space?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Hall,
Second.
second by Ms. Allen. Questions? All those in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request of the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Church.
Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Church is requesting to increase their current handicap spaces on the south side of 22nd Street from 2 to 6. These spaces would be from Washington Avenue to Ridge Alley.
Do I have a motion to honor this request?
I'd like to make a motion to do it, but I have a question about being a conflict of interest because I'm a member of that church. Is that considered?
I mean, the request is really not going to personally
Okay.
benefit you in any kind of financial
Right.
way, so no, it's not. You are able to make that motion.
I make that request. They have two, and with the combining of churches with the queenship, it does make it a little bit difficult for the amount of handicapped people that they can. They only have 2 spots there. So I'm making that request to honor it.
I'll second.
Second by, motion made by Mr. Glassick, second by Mr. Donahue. Any questions? Go ahead.
Chief Kadingo, is that something that you look into for a need for the amount of spaces for the population?
Could you repeat that, please?
Your mic is.
My mic died, which I really like, let's just keep it that way. Do you review those type of requests also? No, that's just a kind of a choice thing to do.
Sole discretion of council.
If I could
Go ahead.
speak a little further on that.
Please.
There are requirements, there are zoning requirements for certain numbers of spaces, and under the ADA, where you have private parking, there are a certain number of required handicap spaces, but there is nothing that would preclude this request under the law. And it doesn't require an analysis by the borough.
I'm not necessarily opposed to it, I'm actually a member of the church too, but I'm trying to figure out how many spots they already have. But there's spots behind the church, in the church little lot there, and then are there any spots in the actual parking lot? Can you
So,
explain
yeah,
that?
so when we went up there today, actually looked at it.
Thank
The parking lot itself, across the street, there is no handicap
There's
spots.
none in there,
There's
okay.
2 in the rear along Ridge Alley in the back.
So that would give them
Along the
six.
side on 22nd Street there is 5 spots there that are marked out. So the letter says 6, but I think it's actually only 5 there. It is kind of, if you go up there and you look at the sign, it almost makes you think that they already are handicapped during church services. Because the way the arrow is, there's one sign, it kind of like closer to Washington.
Correct.
So it may even just be just adding one extra sign for the entire spot, the entire area.
So they're just looking for the side,
Just
where the
that
side.
side.
I don't think a 6th can fit though.
Yeah,
we
we did-
looked at it and Rich looked at it too.
We measured it, it's, the zoning ordinance is
Says
22
22
feet minimum for it, so we don't think they can fit the 6.
So would they be asking them to go up beyond Ridge Alley to just the
But
next
their
part of the
request
block up?
specifically says Washington to Ridge
Yeah.
for 6.
Because they probably
Right.
are not aware of
Possibly.
that zoning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they-
might have been trying to fit another one in there, I
Right,
don't know, but we can,
yeah.
It's better, oh, go ahead, no.
No, go ahead.
I was just,
That's my
it's better there than perhaps on Washington Avenue where there is
Yeah, that'll be.
issues with parking with a lot of the residents, and that side of the street tends to not be parked up except during church or church activities. And Mr. Vlasic is correct, there is absolutely an aging population in that church, and so the parking could be beneficial, but, I just don't wanna, you wanna assure that no residents' parking is impacted significantly either.
It's where the handicap entrance is of the side of the church,
Correct.
where also the ramp is and the elevator. So it just does, it makes sense,
Makes
and I
sense.
just thought,
and as opposed to maybe would they ask for the 6, maybe the motion should be to keep the spots the same as they are marked off and designate those 5 spots as handicap parking during church events.
Why don't we request, I mean, I live up in the neighborhood and the parking, it is what it is. Why don't they use all those spots and put them all to the rear, and they could gain more there as handicap? I mean, there's 4 spots there and 2 are handicapped, so why don't we make all 4 handicaps? Because what's those extra 2 doing there?
Yeah, I don't know.
To the rear.
Church lot, you mean?
I mean, is that a request that they, what, I think that should be,
I'm not
as
sure.
well, because
Yeah.
they could gain more, because I don't know,
Oh, they could, I guess.
what's that 2 spots that
If
they're there
that's-
that they
that's the-
aren't
that's-
using for handicap?
That's their off-street parking, so
Yeah.
I guess they can kind of designate it as they seem fit in the rear.
And then gain
I
2
think-
more as well.
Of handicap, yeah.
I mean,
I think the ones in the rear are handicap at all
at all
times.
time, yeah.
I-
The ones on the side are only handicap parking
yeah.
during
They're
church
white lines,
services and
they're
events.
only
They're
for-
white lined and
Yeah.
they had the sign says
says
during church
church
service.
service.
And the sign makes sense, but I'm just saying if there's only 2 in the back, use all 4 or whatever.
Go ahead.
For purposes of helping to craft an amendment to the motion, so this is on-street request?
Yes, this is
Yes.
on-street parking.
Okay. And it is only from Washington Avenue to Ridge Alley, and based on calculations, they can only fit 5.
5 they have.
And they are marked off for 5 spots.
They are marked off already for 5,
Okay,
and they're recognized as handicap only during church service.
okay. That was my understanding, I just wanted
Yeah.
to recapitulate before making, I think that's a good suggestion, actually, that Mr. Swensis made, in terms of amending the motion to provide for 5 parking spaces based on dimensional requirements. So you would need a motion to amend.
To amend, okay.
Well, can I ask another question, just in terms of addressing their request that they feel the need for 6? Because that was gonna be part of my question, is there something that determines by amount of population how many parking spots you're requesting? So if we can't really answer that question, but they feel the need for 6, can we give them the 6, since this is only during church time, and make it the first spot on the other side of when you cross over Ridge, it would still be equal to the church's parking lot. And that's still
You
26.
probably, you could,
But
you
it's-
would be taking away street parking from the residents on that side.
It's the, really is only the rectory there in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Oh, wait,
The
where-
other
where
side.
we go?
Yeah, she's like, if you go down on 22nd on the other side of Ridge and.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking on.
Yeah, I won't
just the
take, I won't
I
take parking,
apologize,
no, I would
misunderstood.
not take
No, that-
parking from the
You
residence.
go, you go going towards
Some
Lincoln
vehicles
is
will
what I'm
go
talking
there.
about.
Yes.
Okay,
They
yes.
do, and we're, not to give it up, but where you live, that street is crazy after mass on Sunday.
Kids aren't allowed, my kids were never allowed.
You could do that, it would just require probably 2 more signs, cause you would, probably one in the corner and then one in, or at least one more. I was thinking, the way they are now, it would require one more sign, and you probably need a third.
And they can always make another request
So they
if
would have to make
like
another
to.
request,
Yes,
so would that be a better
precisely,
way to do it?
because-
Okay, thank you.
Because we don't want to grant relief that goes outside the scope of their request.
It just, they asked for 6, that's why I asked, but I
Well,
understand
but
that, so they
from
also
a
asked for a
specific
distance, okay, so
street
they
to
would
a
have to ask
specific
for
From
more.
Washington
So-
Okay.
to,
So, since
Okay.
it's been measured, it can accommodate 5. You can amend the motion on the floor to grant the request, as amended, to provide for 5 parking spaces from Washington Avenue to Ridge Alley based on space considerations.
Okay, so what do we do with this motion?
You're making a motion to, you're
Amend.
making an
Making
amendment
a
to that.
motion, so somebody needs to make that motion to amend the motion on the floor.
Okay, somebody needs to make
I'll
that
make the
motion.
motion to amend the current motion that's on the floor about the parking spot.
Okay, to 5.
I'm just making the amendment first,
Yes, to 5.
To 5.
Yes.
to 5 then. If you have small cars, you can probably get 6.
the ordinance is 22 feet, and we measured it off, it's 110 feet exactly, divided by 5 is 22 feet,
Okay,
so.
all right.
Okay.
Make amendment to move it to 5.
Okay, Mr. Glassick made that amendment,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Donahue. Any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consider request of the Greater Nazareth Area Chamber of Commerce.
The Nazareth Area Chamber of Commerce is requesting to use the portable van trailer for their Claus Comes to the Circle event on Friday, December 12th, 2025. They will be charged a rental fee of $300, a delivery and setup fee of $150, and will be required to provide a certificate of insurance naming the borough as additionally insured.
What is the opinion of council? You make a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Ms. Haldeman,
Second.
by Mr. Stone. Questions?
Just noted that it's definitely extra money we could just keep on generating.
Oh, and where are we at in terms of getting this fixed up? I mean-
It's ready to go.
Oh, you fixed it?
Yeah, they fixed it. They worked on it a couple weeks ago.
They had it in the garage.
Yeah, and they repainted the benches that go along with it. It's still not gonna have a door, like the main, but it's usable. Just, it'll look like a little slightly spruced up version of what we had for our Christmas tree lighting. With new colored panels.
So it's back to safe and secure
Yes.
and,
It was always safe before, they just
something
needed to
up to-
fix the roof.
and they fixed that?
Yes.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
No?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to consider request of the Northampton Area Chamber of Commerce.
Northampton Area Chamber of Commerce is requesting to use the portable band trailer for their Spuds and Spurs Festival on Saturday, June 21st, 2025. They will be charged a rental fee of $300, a delivery and setup fee of $150, and will be required to provide a certificate of insurance naming the borough as additionally insured.
Do I have a motion to approve this request?
Motion made.
By Mrs. Allen, do I have a second?
Second?
And Mr. Canano? Any questions?
They don't need a bathroom? That wasn't brought up for a while.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. Reports from council members. We'll start with Mr. Hall.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Public Works again for road clearing and everything else, in particular on Saturday into Sunday, when we had breakfast at Fire. Fire department actually with that, we did have 220, I believe it rounded out at. So my wife actually went around the block and went to CVS because there was no room in the parking lot, and she wasn't gonna park across the street with the snow. And the next one is, we're trying to hit the first week, but with different holidays and everything, so the next one's March 9th. Pass the word, I'm sure it'll be announced again. And just in driving, I go past or whatever, I asked if Borough Manager has any update on the bridge, but in the first 2 weeks in February, they actually got more done on, and it got another pier sort of arose in the first 2 weeks of February when it was super freezing and cold than they did in November to February. It was like they were having trouble getting the water and keeping the cofferdam empty and everything else. But in like 2 weeks, all of a sudden they go by and there's this pier has arisen, the second pier's up and out of the ground, so. But did you get any updates on what they're doing?
I haven't heard anything recently because we haven't been involved with it yet. I know originally it was supposed to be December 2027, then I heard possibly beginning of 2028, and then there was that article in the newspaper that said beginning of 2027. So
Oh, if you haven't, so
timeline's moved up a year.
the second pier is in.
Let's see how.
Well, I lied. It's up, it's on the ground, it's even stripped now. When I went by today, they had the upper ring, the upper collar, the bigger. If you took the time to look at it, the pier is so big and then it gets a little bit bigger at the top. They didn't do that top part yet, but it's amazing. Like I said, it seems like more work got done in the sub-zero weather.
Yeah.
Than it had, because they were just fighting all the elements. They just couldn't get the water to stop coming in, so. Just a little bit of information there. I think that's all I got.
Thank you. Mr. Stone?
I have no report.
Nah.
No, true. I have plans tonight.
Ms. Holden,
He paid me, I have nothing to say tonight either. Thank
See
you.
that?
you have nothing to say?
No,
Ed?
I have nothing.
Oh, my goodness. Mason?
Just like to thank Public Works for the hard work over the past few weeks clearing the snow, but other than that, I have nothing.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Thank you. Ms. Allen, it's your turn.
I just have something little to say. I know that it's really cold out and maybe you can't get any fill for that pothole that my car keeps dipping in on 23rd to 24th Street.
They looked at it.
Did they?
They looked at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I heard it.
maybe with this past snowstorm,
They
more
probably might have
plowing,
not been
maybe
able
it'll
to.
come back up.
Yeah.
But I know they were out today. We'll
They
talk to
were
them
doing
tomorrow.
they were doing coal patches more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll mention to them again.
Okay, I didn't get out today, but I was out yesterday and I still dipped in it with my car. so-
Okay.
Find taller people.
Yeah, well. Need a truck.
That's what my husband says. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Donahue?
Thank you. Just a friendly reminder, since Mother Nature came today, 24 hours to remove the snow and ice from your sidewalks. And 30 inches from your fire hydrant if you have it on your property. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. Glassick?
Mr. Stone didn't pay me, so I still have a couple things to say.
Checks in.
Again, Public Works, they are really doing a great job, and it's just a shame that we get these storms on the weekend, more so than, even during the week, but there's an area on Wabach Avenue, I think we talked about it, that water's coming out of the house right by the school, and it seems like it was extremely icy there the other morning, and it's pretty far out in the street. I'm surprised that nobody has an accident there. Is there anything being done with that, or what do we do with that?
It's their spring up in there, and years ago, it had the water from their inside was pumping into the sewer. So when we found that out, we had them remove that pump from the sewer to the exterior, and that is completely within the right. They can do that. You can put the water to the exterior of the property and it goes to the street. So over the past few years, when it gets icy like that, we take salt up there. We've gone up there by hand and put the salt down and try to keep it down. There have been a few ideas we've thought about, trying to do something
Talked about it
differently.
just the other day.
Yeah. But it is kind of somebody's got
You know, in the summer, you see the
the
water there, it's no big deal, but in the winter, when it freezes like this, it seemed
Yeah.
like it was
Yeah.
quite the accident waiting to happen.
last year or a couple years ago, we put a small drain in that alley from the people that houses up the street from them. But this gets discharged on the lower side.
Okay.
So there's been some thoughts on how we can maybe try to remedy of it, but has been looked into.
Okay. Thank you, Barry, for the fire training and the cadets thing. It's just an outstanding job that the fire company does. I think the breakfast was outstanding. I just think what you do is truly top-notch in our in the state, if not more. So congratulations to that. Thank you for bringing our attention about, holding us accountable too for the tri-borough. I mean, I think you can see that there is obviously a focus on it. It's not going away, and we want to make sure this borough stays safe, but it is a great organization, and we don't want to hurt them either. The neighborhood watch, I think that's something that we have to talk more about in the whole borough, and maybe get that out there on our web pages. Congratulations to Colt, is it?
Colton.
Colton, okay, for that. And that's the end of my report, so you didn't pay me, so you didn't have to.
Mr. Canal?
Oh, I just because I wasn't here last week, I was ill, but I want to give my heartfelt to the Fellow family, Marty Fellow's family. I met with the Exchange Club people last night. They surely miss them, and the Exchange Club says they're always looking for volunteers. So if you want to be a volunteer for the Exchange Club, see one of their people. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, do you have anything additional?
No, actually for the borough manager, PSAB meeting coming up. How are we looking for hometown heroes being recognized this year? I'm sure you would have got your update, so we doing well?
It'll be in my announcements, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, because this will be the last time I probably see everyone together. At the end of the month.
Attorney Stewart, anything extra?
Nothing this evening.
Jerry?
I don't have too much. Past few, the snow stuff going on. Public Works has been doing great. I look forward to the fire department junior program again next year. I know my daughter moved up from the junior program, and she's going to be the actual junior firefighter this year helping out. I know she really enjoyed that, and it's great to hear that's a lot of improvements with that. I know last time I finished my part of the announcements with, I said, "Go Eagles," and I said, "How about them Eagles?" I'll say that. All right.
I second it. Is your probationary period still?
You know what, Ron?
Thank you. Mr. Wescott?
Yeah, Mr. Franz, thank you again, as always. I know it's something that this town usually looks forward to every year. I was waiting myself to wonder when you were going to be coming in. So, thank you. Truly, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I feel comfortable enough to know that everyone is very grateful for what you do.
Our highest number of junior firefighters, I think, in a long time in the fire department, and some of those cadets actually joined the fire department, which is great.
That's
the whole
awesome.
idea. Try to get involved.
That's awesome.
She loves it. She's great. Good to hear.
Yeah, thank you to Public Works. I know that it makes me smile to hear them driving by and know that, even though they have busy lives, that they're going out 2, 3, 4 a.m. on a Saturday and a Sunday when they want to go watch the Eagles play, that they're out there working, knowing that there's a chance that they might not be able to do that, but they're committed to this job, and I can't say enough how much I appreciate them as well. In terms of PSAB, we do have a few people already signed up. In terms of council people, if anyone else, like I said, what's today, 20th? Yeah, so 8 days. If you get anyone that is interested in going, whether it be yourself, family, anyone else that you'd like to go along, 8 more days, because then starting when we come back on the 3rd, yeah, we're gonna make those reservations so that way we can make sure we get in and get as close of the rooms as possible to the event. If anyone has any questions, feel free. On the next agenda, we'll likely have the voting delegate that we have to make a motion for, as well for that, for the first, second, and then our representative. There was something else I wanted to say about it. Oh, that's it. But if anyone has any questions, feel free. We also are coming up, you'll see the next manager's report for Easter egg hunt is already going to be here before we know it. It'll be a little over a month away for the next meeting. I think it'll end up being April 12th, that Saturday, for the Easter egg hunt. But I'll make the official announcement next meeting. But other than that, I think that's the end of my report.
It is? Okay.
It is, yeah. Trevor didn't pay me as well. So. No. It's okay.
I only got enough for one.
His was in the mail, though.
Well, they may bounce, I don't know.
It'll probably bounce.
Oh, goodness. Here we go, Mr. Glassick, Ms. Haldeman, ready? Motion by council member to pay the bills. Have a motion?
Motion.
Made by Mr. Donahue. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Ms. Allen. Any questions?
I actually only have one, and it's a comment, and it's to compliment the chief that the prices have come down significantly on car washes. You said you were going to do your job with that, and you did, so borough residents, thank you, as does this council person.
Good note, but we still use Harharts. I guess the public
There was
works
another one
use
here
that.
too.
Switch to Chamois
It's
Shine.
Chamois Shine now.
Well, there was two.
There's two. It was kind of the half month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
With
that
the
was great discovery on your parts, so thank you for that. One question I have is about the rock salt, or the buying of the salt.
Yep.
How far over budget with that? Or is it?
Now, a lot of that is also liquid fuels money too, that's allocated for it. You'll see that in here, we bought 5 different purchases of it from 3 different companies.
Yeah.
It's just because we're trying to find what we can. So I don't think you'll see anything in here from American Rock Salt anymore because we've reached our maximum amount, which we've been told. But you'll see that we should probably, I think we're getting some more from Horowitz soon. It's just difficult to come by.
And one of them that's through Northampton County is seed is the
Safe
sidewalk
Yeah.
safe salt.
Yeah.
He said he moved away from
We
it.
had the same thing with the water authority, I
Yeah.
checked on that, because that's where they were getting theirs.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of expenses for like over $3,000 at Miller Supply. Are we getting salt from them too? From Miller Supply?
I don't believe so. I think a lot of the Miller Supply stuff is for building renovations.
Oh, okay.
So in January, we had a lot in here and
That-
starting
that-
over in the
that
police
makes
department.
sense. Yeah.
They did get one pallet from,
That makes sense.
I sold them.
That's all I had.
From Lowe's.
Yeah, there's another one from, yeah.
Yeah, we did get, I sold it from pallet the other day,
That's all I had. I'm
but
good.
it's hard to get.
Did we get
Yeah.
I
It
actually
is.
have one
Did we
question
get your
on that.
employee discount?
I don't have it with me, I wanted to take a snapshot, but it was about a car that was sent out to a Chevy dealer or for a chassis, something I think it was. It's not a big amount, but I'm still wondering, why are we sending the cars out? Why, like, what is our mechanic doing?
Do you remember where it was sent to?
It's a Chevy dealer.
Out in Chevrolet, it's for a
Yes.
battery block. Yeah, that's just something, it's just parts. So it's something that we don't have necessarily in stock here. It wasn't for labor, just for a part.
All right.
It just happened, the $600 one?
Yes,
Yeah.
That went to Amy's Garage? Is
No,
that what you're
Allen
talking?
Chevy for $625.66.
And there's one to Amy's Garage for $662 for a
Amy,
Dodge.
that was for rebuilding the bumper.
Okay.
Okay, so we talked some time ago about the equipment that he doesn't have in order to do his job completely here. Are we working on getting that equipment here for
Well,
him?
yeah, he gets money every year to buy mechanics tools and shop tools. Some of this stuff isn't stuff he would necessarily be able to do in because we don't necessarily always carry battery blocks and like something we would have specifically. So like there are certain situations where we do have to go out for.
Okay.
There was one item that was a part of the budget that had to get taken out earlier in the year was for new lifts that would help do more work, but unfortunately it was too expensive this year and we couldn't.
Plus, we need to rearrange the shop in order to
Yeah,
get it to
and
work.
we need to do a lot more work than just installing a lift. We need to do a lot of
It's
work.
a lot, yeah.
So are we looking on that for future then?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. I need a motion by council member to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Hall,
Second.
second by Mr.